Hi, good morning all. I am Dr. Rajat Praveen Dimri, Associate Professor Marketing, Himalayan School of Management Studies at Swami Rama Himalayan University, Jolly Grant, Dehradun. In the ongoing lecture series of consumer behavior, here we come with another session. The topic for the session is models of consumer behavior. In previous session, we talked about the basics of consumer behavior. We talked about the factors those influence the consumer behavior. We will also discuss the nature and the importance of consumer behavior. In today's session, we will be talking about what are the various models those justify the consumer behavior or consumer decision making. Consumer takes a decision because he or she has a problem. So we call it a problem solving behavior. Problem solving behavior has been observed into two categories, that is programmed problem solving and non-programmed problem solving. The programmed decisions or the programmed problem solving decisions we make without much thought. That is the instant reaction to a situation where we find it deficiency of something. For example, if I am preparing a tea and suddenly the tea is not there, so I will not get bothered about it. I will go and replenish that tea box or the sugar box which is missing. So this is called the programmed problem solving behavior. It means you are not very much involved and engrossed in it, neither psychologically, nor economically, nor in any case. Brand loyalty is related because it is another method to minimize effort. Obviously, we have tested a brand in past, and now if that product is missing out, we immediately go to the shop and buy that without thinking much. So this also results in the form of brand loyalty. Loyalty means the resistance experienced by an individual in order to change a brand is called a brand loyalty. So we don't want to experience the resistance. So that's why this brand loyalty is an outcome of programmed decision. And if you talk of non-programmed decisions, these are new or occur infrequently. It doesn't happen regularly to you. So there can be few categories for this. Majorly, limited problem solving, that is LPS, where you know the basic criteria what you got to buy, but yet to establish the preference among the brands. There are multiple brands, but still you need to explore the preference as per your requirement and limitations. For example, I got to buy a mobile phone. There can be N players in that category, but I need to establish my priority ranking. So this process of mine would be talked as limited problem solving, because I am getting involved in identifying the brand of my choice, though I have n number of preferences, choices available. So I am getting more involved in it, what I was not there in previous example. That was the programmed. Then comes another example for non-programmed solving decisions, that is extensive problem solving, where the consumer is involved very high. As per the degree of involvement is concerned, the person is highly involved in that decision making. For example, I need to buy a plot or a flat. So every element of mine is getting involved and engrossed in it. Why? Because my money is getting influenced in it. My society and my social reputation gets influenced by that. My mental peace gets influenced by that. My everything gets influenced by that. And so we call it extensive problem solving. The degree of involvement is very high. So these decisions are non-programmed decisions. And one more, an interesting example of non-programmed decision is impulse purchase, where there is no rational purchase. Suddenly the person is going to buy a packet of milk and returns back with the purchase of 1000 rupees. So even he or she did not think about it. We call it impulse purchase, and you don't require any cognitive effort for that. So we call it non-programmed decision. Then comes, repeatedly we have been talking about the consumer decision making, what it is actually. So if we talk of consumer decision making, so it refers to the process under which consumers go through in deciding what to purchase, including problem recognition, information search, evaluation of alternative, making the decision and post-purchase evaluation. To simplify it, John Dewey identified 5 stages in the decision making process as follows. First step is problem or need recognition. Problem or need recognition is a state where we find a gap between the actual state and expected state. I need food. It means I don't have food. The actual state is food deficiency. The expected state is I would be there with food. So gap is of food. So we can call it need of food. This is the first point, that is problem recognition. I recognized my problem, I identified my need, and then I'm approaching towards the step number 2, that is search. Search is for the options available in that needed item, the solutions for the problem. Search can be internal and external. Obviously, if you explore your memory, your experiences, we call it internal search. And if you look around and search in external sources, we call it external search. External sources nowadays very popular, the World Wide Web. There can be your friends' references, those can be termed as external search. So once the need is being identified, the individual searches both ways, and after searching, the individual lands up with the stage number 3, alternative. After search, he or she has a number of alternatives available for that problem. Then the person will identify and evaluate based on the required criteria. Probably price can be a criteria, probably brand can be a criteria at the moment, probably the criteria of brand gets neglected at the very next moment. So the criteria keeps on changing as per the situation. I am very hungry, I'll go for a thing that is being kept inside my fridge, though it can be of 3 or 4 days older cooked, but still this is workable for me. But in very same case, in condition number 2, I can order from Swiggy or Zomato because I can wait till that time. So your search criteria can vary as per the situation. And then comes, once you have evaluated your alternatives, obviously you will land up with the stage number 4, that is purchase or commitment made to the purchase. You go in the physical process of buying or on electronic process of buying. E-commerce is very popular nowadays. There are multiple players in this. So you immediately purchase or you make a commitment of purchasing. Then you purchase it. So there is a possibility of step number 5, your post-purchase considerations. If the purchase has fallen in the same level of expectations as you thought of, so definitely there is a propensity, a possibility of being satisfied. You are now more satisfied because what you thought you are getting. The expectations and experiences are having 0 difference, so you are satisfied. And the other way around, if they are totally different, you expected something else and experience was different, so definitely there is a possibility that you get dissatisfied for that. So this entire process includes 5 steps. I repeat it once again: problem or need recognition, search for alternatives, evaluation of alternatives, purchase decision or purchase commitment, then comes post-purchase behavior, which leads to satisfaction or dissatisfaction. So this entire process is consumer decision making model. So for this, there have been certain models in past and certain models contemporary, those are accepted widely. So let's make a list of these models of consumer decision making. It means how a consumer makes decisions. So we have categorized these models into 2 groups: the old school of thought or the rejected models. Those are not widely accepted. We call them traditional models of consumer decision making, and more accepted and more comprehensive models, we call them contemporary models of consumer decision making. Among the traditional models, there are few names very popular: the economic model of consumer decision making, the learning model of consumer decision making, the psychological model of consumer decision making, and the sociological model of consumer decision making. Whereas in the modern or the contemporary models of consumer decision making, certain popular models are listed here as the Howard-Seth model of buying behavior, the Nicosia model, the Angel, Collett and Blackwell model, very popular, very accepted, Angel, Blackwell and Minyard EBM model, Webster and Wind model of organizational buying behavior, that's slightly different, the SATE model of industrial buying. These two models are exclusively dedicated for organizational or B2B buying. Let's start from first, that is economic model, the older one. The economic model assumes that with limited purchasing power and a set of needs and taste, a consumer will allocate his or her expenditures over different products at a given prices so as to maximize utility. So here the individual is struggling with the resources. So individual tries to allot the resources to get maximum benefits out of it. So basis of this economic models are three, obviously, depending on money. One is the price effect. If the price is in favor of the purchaser will buy that product. Favor means with that limited amount of money, where he employs that money, she employs that money. The substitution effect, if the easy substitute is available, so definitely the person can go for that. This model says that the person is limited with the resources, with the economy, with the money. So definitely would like to allot the money to the better substitutes, better in his opinion, in her opinion. Then comes the income effect. If disposable income gets influenced, so definitely the purchase gets influenced. If income of individual gets influenced, definitely the purchase gets influenced. If income of the whole family gets influenced, definitely the purchase gets influenced. So economic model is barely depending on the price, substitute and income. Since it was only talking about the money or related aspects, so it got criticized and it got declined by the scholars. So it is not very popular and accepted nowadays, not at all. Then comes the learning model of consumer behavior. This model helps marketers to provide or promote association of products with strong drivers and cues. What inspires the individual to buy, which would lead to positive reinforcement from the consumers. In marketing context, learning will help marketers to understand how consumers learn to respond in new marketing situations, or how they have learned and respond in the past in similar situations. So this conditioning or learning model is also one among the classical models of consumer buying decision making. But since it doesn't explain every other aspect of the buying, there are more things running inside the customer's mind and outside it. It doesn't cover those, so it got rejected or not accepted nowadays. Another is psychological model. Psychological model greatly depends on the Freudian elements, where the Sigmund Freud, very popular legendary psychologist, says that the consumer behavior or the human behavior is the outcome of three elements, that is id, superego and ego. Id, primitive desires, need instant gratification. Everybody has element of these. It depends on the conscious control over them. Superego, the sense of morality in every decision, and the ego, the knowing things, the knowing the limitations, and conscious learning about surrounding. Majorly, this model is concerned with the personality and says that human behavior to a great extent is directed by a complex set of deep stated motives. Why we behave? Because there are certain deep hidden motives within. We behave in a particular way. It also got rejected because it's only talking about the libido drives. Then comes the sociological model. As per this model, the individual buyers is a part of institutions called society, and he gets influenced by it and in turn also influences it in the path of evolution or development. The interactions with all the set of society leave some impressions on him and may play a role in influencing his buying behavior. The marketers, through a process of market segmentation, can work out on a common behavior pattern of a specific class or group of buyers and try to influence their buying pattern. But since it is only talking about the sociological interactions, so it is not also being widely accepted, but up to some extent, yes, marketers are practicing this model also. So these were some classical models of consumer buying behavior, and those got rejected for different reasons. In next session, we'll be talking about the contemporary model of consumer buying behavior. Till then, keep learning and have a great time. Thank you so much.